apparently Nick went nuts on a stream and just started releasing all of his DMs between him and Josh from Kiwi Farms.
Uh-oh.
I mean, just you look and you go, just fucking stop it.
Well, I'm sure releasing all the deets really vindicated him and exposed.
No,
Josh
it made
for
him
being
look
a
like shit. It made it look like Josh was being incredibly reasonable and trying to get Nick to be honest, and Nick was just having a meltdown and doing like the manipulative narcissist shit. And he just released them. I'm at the point now where I can't tell if he's on drugs or he's just a fucking idiot. Like I don't know anymore.
I'm really hoping that the blow can be the excuse, but maybe it's just him.
Maybe he's just a fucking retard. I mean, we need to start considering the fact that he might be clean. And if that's the case, that might be worse. Because if you're in the middle of all of this shit and you go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn on my computer. I'm going to hit go live and I'm going to read all of the texts between Josh Moon from Kiwi Farms and myself. First of all, why are you texting the guy who runs Kiwi Farms? They hate you. They think you're shit. Let them think you're shit. Let them hate you. That's part of being a public figure. You don't write to the people who hate you and go, you're not hating me right. You don't understand. Like, imagine how much control you feel like you need to have over the narrative that you would write to people who think you're a goof and try to convince them, hey, I'm not a piece of shit. Like, I
really need to have, like, what are you going to get from this? They're never going to think you're not a piece of shit. And just what exactly is your grappling? Hey, you think I'm a piece of shit, but you don't have all the facts. Like, who cares? And
that's what he did. And then, like, Josh would write back to him, and Josh would just write back things like, you're full of shit, you lie all the time. Like, it would just be that. He's like, I don't believe you. You constantly lie. You've said this, that, and the other thing. And I think the reason he started reading the DMs and the reason he started writing to Josh, because like I said, I always follow this stuff skin deep. Like, I don't dive in. I don't want to commit that kind of time.
Not anymore, anyways.
So, like, I'm looking at this, and I'm guessing what I'm trying to put together is that Josh has been trying to get the body cam from the arrest footage. And they're having trouble because the criminal case is still ongoing. The CPS case is still ongoing. That's the other thing. People are now, they're thinking that Nick maybe lied about the kids thing, that maybe they come over for visits now, that they're not back and living there. I mean, who fucking knows? But anyway, Josh now has this new idea for getting the body cam footage. And it is, in Minnesota law, body cam footage can be released at the discretion of the police department to dispel widespread rumor. And what Josh is going for is, Nick has alluded to a police conspiracy. Remember that?
Yeah. It's the government and Sweeper and everybody out together.
Yeah, Alicia Sweep, the Candy, Ojai County Police Department, telling people like that Barnes guy that, they're out to get him and all this shit. I mean, that's out there. So Josh wanted to go that route and tell Candy, Ojai County, like, look, a lot of people are saying you guys are corrupt as shit. You might have planted this stuff and all of that. And he thinks that he might be able to go that way to get the body cam footage released. So I guess that kind of shook Nick up a bunch. So he starts texting Josh and starts telling him, oh, go ahead, find the thing where I said the blah, 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 blah. And so Josh goes, okay, I will. Like, you don't tell a determined autistic man, like, I dig through all my shit, find where I said that. Challenge accepted. How about that?
We'll do this.
Yeah.
Actually, if he's been watching you long enough, he might not even have to dig. He might be like, oh, I have that time stamped. Like,
right.
I have that saved in my notes. Let me just go over here. It's kind of like the what is it? The Minnesota Public Records guy. So it's just like you can call him out all day long, but how many times do you have to, like, as you would say, hit yourself in the face with the rake before you realize there's a rake there? Just stop
stepping on the fucking rake. That's just it. Like, you said it perfectly. Stop texting Josh.
Yeah.
Stop.
They're not your friends. They're not going to like you.
And it never gets better.
Let them say what they want. It doesn't change anything.
Exactly. McBuster says, no wonder Nick is adamant about how he did not accuse the police of planting drugs. What a scheming manipulator. Yeah, I mean, look, man, Josh raised a lot of money from a lot of different people to get that body cam footage, so he's obviously going to try as hard as he can to find every angle to release this stuff because he's got people's money and he doesn't want to, take
doesn't want to waste it. Doesn't want to take it as a scam.
Exactly. So, well, good for him. And and leaking people's DMs and leaking people's texts is kind of seen as like the dirtiest thing you can do.
Right.
And it's usually a sign of desperation when you're leaking DMs, especially when those DMs, there's something in the thought process of someone who does that I just can't wrap my head around. This idea that you're releasing these thinking it's going to make you look good. First of all, even if you look good, you're still releasing someone's DMs, which a certain percentage of people, even if they think you're in the right, they're going to go, wow, you're kind of a piece of shit. But then when you actually look at some of the DMs, it does seem like Josh is being stark, raving reasonable with a lunatic. So,
especially since he's been linking these conversations, but he doesn't put up like, oh, here's the chat picture. He gives you what the gist of the conversation was and just kind of leaves it at that. So unless he's lying, like unless he's making shit up, you aren't going to make him look bad when you share those messages.
Yeah.